Hello students, welcome to the e-learning platform presented by Mechanical Engineering Department of Dr. Bapuji Saroke Institute of Engineering and Technology, Kolhapur. The learning objectives for today's session are number 1, function and necessity of transmission system. Why a transmission system is necessary in the vehicle or automobile vehicle will be studied in today's session, and the function of transmission system. Second, types and transmission of transmission gearbox. Types and working of transmission gearbox. Different types of transmission system or transmission gearbox will be studied in today's session. First point, function and necessity of gearbox. An IC engine produces little or low speed and maximum power at a given speed depending on particular engine. When directly coupled with gearbox, a fixed road speed is provided to the vehicle. To provide the fixed road speed, gearbox is supplied or fitted to the vehicle. The gearbox has series of gears and shaft. To vary the speed of gearbox, output shaft is connected to the engine speed. The automobile require high torque when climbing hills and when starting, even though they are performed at a low speed. On other hand, when running at high speed on straight level road, the high torque is not required because of the momentum, and it will be more preferable to have just the wheel alone turning at high speed. However, the torque which engine can produce is limited to such amount that engine in itself cannot develop the torque necessary for starting in and for climbing hill. The transmission comes or acts in accordance with the running condition. When driving power is required, it reduces the engine speed and transmits stronger torque to the driving road wheel, and higher running speed is desired, it transmits high speed low torque to the vehicle. It serves The gearbox serves the function to reverse the vehicle since engine can run in only one direction. It also helps to keep the vehicle in neutral position without stopping in the engine. The vehicle performance is based on acceleration, ability to go up a slope, top speed, fuel economy, noise level, and durability. The gearbox is designed to provide maximum acceleration at low speed by keeping driving wheel torque output at the point of impending wheel spin. The power required to drive vehicle increases with the cube of speed. That is, when the power available match with power required, the vehicle moves forward at a constant speed. That is, the gearbox is necessary to move the vehicle forward in constant speed and to vary the speed, torque and speed as per road and load condition. The different types of transmission system are broadly classified into two types, into following types. The first is standard or manual transmission. That is, the driver can select the gear manually both by a movable gear selector or a driver operated clutch. Second, semi-automatic transmission. That is, the action of clutch is not controlled by driver but automated using pneumatic or hydraulic control. Hence, it is also called as direct shift gearbox. Only the clutch is operated automatically. The driver has to select gears. The third is fully automatic transmission, and there are two pedal for braking and for accelerating, also an selector mechanism. The different types of fully automatic transmission system: hydramatic drive, controlled coupled hydramatic transmission, and 3-speed hydramatic transmission. Fourth is continuously variable transmission, CVT. This transmission has continuously variable drive ratio and uses belt, pulleys and sensor rather than gear to maintain steady acceleration curve with no pause of gear change, keeping constant power range and increasing efficiency. And the last is dual clutch transmission. These are the types of an transmission system. The next point is types of gearbox. The different types of gearbox in automobile are classified as follows. The first is selective gear transmission type. the selective gear transmission type is classified into three main basic types, that is sliding mesh type, constant mesh type and synchro mesh type, in which constant mesh type and synchro mesh type are the two types which we are going to learn in today's session. Again, these types are classified as 3-speed gearbox, 4-speed gearbox, 6-speed gearbox, depending upon the number of speed the gearbox provides. Second is a planetary gear transmission, that is classified into two types, epicyclic gear type and automatic transmission system. Epicyclic gear type and automatic transmission system. The automatic transmission system is again classified into two types, fluid coupling or torque converter, and second is electric type. The third is twin top gearbox, and last is pre-selective gearbox. Out of the following types of gearbox, we are going to learn constant mesh gearbox, synchro mesh gearbox, planetary or epicyclic gearbox, as fluid coupling and torque converter. The very first type of gearbox is constant mesh gearbox. The constant mesh gearbox, as shown in figure, this type of gearbox, all the gears on the main shaft and on the lay shaft are in mesh, that is, the gears are constantly meshing. Two dog clutches are provided, namely D1 and D2. The one is between the clutch gear and the second gear, and the other is between the first gear and the reverse gear. The main shaft is splined and all gear on main shaft are free to rotate. The two dog clutch can slide on main shaft and rotate with it. All gear on lay shaft are fixed rigidly with it, and one gear on lay shaft is meshed with clutch shaft gear, also as same as engine speed. To obtain first gear or the lower gear, as shown in figure, the dog clutch D2 moves towards by means of gear shifter lever. Its teeth are engaged with teeth on lower gear M1. Similarly, when dog clutch D2 is moved towards right and mesh with mesh with teeth on M3 gear, a reverse gear is obtained. The direction of rotation is changed by the gear I gear, also known as intermediate gear. When the left hand dog clutch D1 move towards right, which meshes with the teeth on the second gear M2, the second gear is obtained. For obtaining a direct gear, the dog clutch D1 move towards left by selector lever mechanism to mesh with the teeth on clutch gear K. A direct gear or top gear is obtained. In this gearbox, because all gears are in constant mesh, they are safe from being damaged, and unpleasant grinding sound does not occur while engaging and disengaging. The power transmission takes place as shown in figure below. For the lower gear, it is the clutch gear K, lay shaft gear A, lay shaft gear C, main shaft gear M1, dog D2, main shaft for final drive. Similarly, for second gear, top gear and reverse gear. The animation aside shows the sliding dog clutches with the help of gear shifting mechanism to obtain the first gear, second gear, third gear and fourth gear. Here the reverse gear is absent. To obtain the third gear, the dog clutch D1 is attached to the clutch M2 and the drive speed is obtained. Similarly, to obtain the fourth gear, it is directly connected to the clutch gear. This type of gearbox, a skillful handling is necessary by the driver so that speed of locking the dogs and respective gear on main shaft remains same to effect a clash-free gear change. For obtaining same speed, the double declutching is necessary. Double declutching. In order to achieve smooth engagement of gear of dog clutch chase in constant mesh gearbox, it must be necessary to keep speed of dog clutch and gear on main shaft equal. For obtaining low gear, the speed of clutch shaft, main shaft and lay shaft gear must be increased, and this is done by double declutching. Double declutching means the clutch pedal is pressed twice, as that is the clutch is engaged and disengaged twice to change the gear. This operation is performed as first the main clutch is disengaged and the gear are brought to the neutral position, then engage the clutch and press accelerator pedal for increase the speed of main shaft gear, and then disengage the clutch and dog clutch move to lower gear and engage. This engages the clutch again. As this process, the clutch is engaged and disengaged twice, it is called as double declutching. For obtaining higher gear, the driver has to wait with the gear in neutral till the main shaft speed is decreased sufficiently for smooth engagement of the gear. The next type of gearbox is synchromesh gearbox. In order to simplify the operation of changing gear so that this can be done by every type of operator, whether it be skilled labor or unskilled labor, that is whether it be skilled driver or unskilled driver, without the occurrence of teeth clashes and consequent damage. Different types of synchromesh gear devices are used in different types of vehicle, but the principle of all these devices is to bring the speed of both engine driven and gearbox output shaft driven gear, which are to be engaged to the same rotational speed for moving their dog clutches or equivalent meshing unit into engagement readily and quietly. That is, the function of synchromesh unit or the synchronizer is to maintain both the speed, that is engine speed and the gearbox output shaft speed. This gearbox, as shown in figure, is similar with the constant mesh gearbox, that the gear on main shaft and lay shaft are in continuously meshing condition. The gear on lay shaft are fixed while the gear on main shaft are free to rotate as lay shaft gear speed. In this, a synchronizer device or a synchronizer is used instead of dog clutch, which equalizes the speed by friction, after which this may be engaged smoothly. The below figure of a gearbox shows the various parts or various gears with the help of synchronizer blocking ring instead of the dog clutch. The synchronizer unit consists of an synchronizer, blocking ring and gear dog tooth. These three units help to achieve the same speed as that of an input shaft. The synchronizer ring is provided between the dog teeth and the member. The working of the synchromesh gearbox is similar as to that of the constant mesh gearbox. The power transmission capacity in synchromesh gearbox is more as compared to the constant mesh gearbox. Changing can also be done by every type of operator and teeth clashes is avoided. Hence, with the help of synchronizer unit, the need of double declutching is avoided. That is, there is no need of double declutching, as the synchronizer unit helps to match the speed of input shaft and output shaft. The only disadvantage is it is more expensive, and hence due to the more expensive and use of synchronizer units, it has become more bulky due to the additional components. So this is it for today's session. In today's session we have completed the function and necessity of transmission system, types of transmission system, types of gearbox, and constant mesh gearbox construction and working, synchromesh gearbox construction and working. Thank you.